Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. No, I'm just playing. This is Spartan, aka Jason, and today we're going to learn how to sample. Sampling is used in a lot of songs, and it's a pretty valuable skill to know. I mean, it'll help you be a pretty good producer. Maybe one day you'll be as good as Skrillex. No, hopefully not. Um, so in order to teach you this effectively, we're going to be basically recreating a popular song. You may know it, you may not. You probably do. Let's take a listen. Oh yeah, we're doing that. In case you don't know, that song is by Macintosh Plus. And basically that entire song is sampled. Diana Ross, it's your move. Let's take a listen. Sound familiar? Well, it should, because it's sampled. Okay, well, to start off, let's just listen to the first song and see if we can hear a point in which it repeats itself. Well, right there. There you go. Right where she starts to say, I don't. You can hear the articulation. Well, she starts to articulate the D in don't. I don't. Okay, so now we just have to find that in the original. Start right here. Oh, there you go. So let's just zoom in on that, and now it's just about finding a place to cut it. Okay, so it looks like that's going to be our place. As you can see, she sort of starts to articulate D and don't. Let's just this and move that there. I'm going to turn on snapping real quick. I was just earlier. Fuck. Okay, let's just check this out here before we make any decisions. Okay, that looks good though. So now we're just going to make unique as a sample, and we're gonna find a place to save it. FL Studio Projects. I have a nice little folder already made here. It's not like I already tried recording this once. That's not what this is at all. There you go. It doesn't really matter where you save it. I just find it to be a lot neater to make a project folder for every project if it involves samples. So now we just have to stretch this. So we can we can select the clip in the, whatever it's called, I can't remember. And we can time stretch it here. You see it's sort of stretching along with it. And I happen to know that the song is 118 BPM, so I can just stretch it there. And now let's take a listen real quick. Does that sound familiar? Well, it should. Let's take a listen back to back. So as you can see, they match up pretty damn close. So now we can simply clone that, put it right there. Seamless. Do you hear that? That was. Let's just compare it again and see how it's going alongside the original. So right there, obviously, you can hear it's sort of out of sync. And it's not too hard, so we just have to compare it. Turn the snap down to a pretty low count so we can have better precision in moving our samples around. That looks pretty close. Check it out. Obviously, you can sort of see how they line up here. Like, you can see that these two waveforms look pretty similar. They probably did a bit of EQing on the original, so let's just check that out and see what that sounds like. Well, it sounds to me a bit like they used a low-pass filter up until this point. So, you can select all of this. Go to Master. And you can find... What am I looking for? Filter. Pretty filter. You can now mess with settings and fine tune it to where it sounds good. So as you can see, I think I said low pass before, I meant high pass. So what we can do is just select up until the point where we don't hear the high pass filter anymore, and you just select it and right click and create automation clip. And what that does is it creates an automation clip only for that up until that point. It's pretty useful because it's pretty annoying when you have an automation clip that spans the entire length of the song. Let's just move that for now. Now we can sort of mess around with it and see what it sounds like. That sounds pretty good to me. I don't know about you, but it sounds pretty accurate. Let's see. Kind of snap down. Move that, make it neater. Okay, let's check out what's going on in the rest of the song. Okay, so as you can hear, it starts to variate around there. Right around 32. So what we can do is basically using the same sample over and over. And basically all that they did to it is, you know, they cut a loop out of the intro. They just time stretched it, which essentially made it a lot slower, which made it pitch down and gave it that sort of ambient, vaporwave sort of feel to it. And they just repeated it, which, I mean, sounds good. That's sort of a trick that you can probably utilize in songs that you're working on yourself. Sounds good to me. I'm one more time, I think. It's about matched up to me. There. Right about there. So right about here is where it's going to change. So let's listen to this real quick. Okay, so right there, obviously, you can hear that the sample sort of variates upon itself. They're not talking about, saying. Let's find where she says that in the original. She says, "Hey, it's your move." So we left off here.
Don't understand it 'cause you won't say yes, but you don't say no. Saying no, we shouldn't keep holding out, but you don't let go. I'm giving up on trying to sell you things that you ain't buying.
Right there. There we go. It's your move. Let's just check real quick before we start making any cuts where exactly it transitions. Okay, so I lost my place. I don't remember.
You're getting me so excited, don't you know you're such a tease when I think you're getting hot. Come on, I've made up my mind. Things that you ain't buying.
Okay, so right about there. Find a proper place to make a cut real quick. That sounds about right to me. So we'll just make a cut here. Sorry about that. It's just one of those songs you can't help but sing along. Okay, so let's mute this and let's find out where we have to make the end cut, because that sample isn't going to go on forever. So, obviously, it starts to repeat itself about right there. I think it goes back to the original sample. I could be mistaken. But, let's take a closer listen right here. Nah, obviously it does. So let's just figure out where we have to cut. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. It's yo. So, let's just find that. Figure out where we made the cut here. Okay.
Come on, we can go on. Do you understand? It's all in your head. It's your.
Okay, so right about there. Zoom in before I make any final cuts. Sounds about right there. Just make a cut right there, Not too hard. Let's zoom all the way back to the beginning of this. Click this, and make unique a sample. Let's find that folder and rename it, because we already have one called Part 1. Now, all we gotta do, time stretch that bitch. First, we gotta match it up, though. Oh, our last sample ends around there. Oh, let's just do a little fine tuning, and as you know, 118 BPM. All you gotta do is stretch it. All you gotta do is go to the time stretching sample. You can go to the why can't I remember what this is called? It's this thing, you know what it is. You just select the sample and select the time stretch option. And stretch it to whatever tempo, sounds good. To be honest, doesn't really matter. And that looks like it matches up pretty well. So let's take a listen real quick to this transition.
You're getting hot.
Oops, I forgot to mute that. That's embarrassing. Okay, so as you can hear, it loops around right there. Take part one, just throw it in there. Not too hard. Matches up. Okay, there you go. I mean, that's pretty much how you sample. It's not magic. I sure as hell thought I was when I first started making music. But, it's really not. It's pretty easy. You can basically make an entire song that starts a genre with just sampling an old song. It doesn't take a whole lot of creativity, and it's pretty easy. So let's take a listen to what we've made. Fuck it, that's too long. Thanks for watching. I hope you know how to properly sample like a true sample lord. I believe in you. I hope you go and make the next hit song that makes you millions of dollars. And I'll only take 50% of your royalties because I taught you how to do this. But have fun. Thanks for watching. If you feel so inclined, check out my SoundCloud. I sometimes finish songs. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.